it is time to recognize our staff veteran for September, and it is Michael Hafliger, who is at Weeki Wachee High School, and here is his nomination. Hafliger only receives praise from his students, which is a feat in itself, given that he teaches math. Agreed. He always has a positive attitude and has a smile on his face beneath the beard. Additionally, he is always ready to provide constructive feedback in meetings, even if it is a differing point from the general consensus. Anytime I have the pleasure of coming across Hafliger in the hallway, you can be sure we're going to laugh. It is an absolute pleasure to work with this veteran and educator. And after that, I would like to introduce Ms. Pierce. Oh, Mr. LaRose? Oh, no. Come on down, sir. You sneaked in. You sneaked in, which is hard to do. Please.
You can hang out with me. Good evening, Superintendent Stratton, Board Chair, Board members. My name is Ed LaRose, Principal, Weeki Wachee High School, and this is Dana Pierce, which we all know that, but I'm still going to acknowledge her, from Springstead High School. And it's important that we're both up here because Mrs. Pierce was actually the person that nominated Mr. Hafliger, and then he's over here with that Weeki Wachee this year, so that's why you see both of us up here. Before I speak about him, though, I just one more time want to acknowledge you. You're such an amazing student. I'm so impressed with you, and there's a long list of things up there. There's a couple things you didn't put on that list, and you're the first student delegate ever from Weeki Wachee High School. So congratulations there. And last year, when you found those flamingos popping up around the county, again, she had a heavy hand in that, and I know she's going to do good, and I would just say be prepared, because she's not going to come talk about pep rallies and fireworks all the time. She's going to bring some topics to talk about, and that's why we're so excited. So, Riley, again, congratulations. Well done. All right. Mr. Hafliger enlisted into the United States Coast Guard on June 6, 1982. He served for just over 20 years, retiring on July 1st, 2002. During those years, he served in many different places, beginning with an ice-breaking tugboat on Lake Michigan and Wisconsin. Next, he transferred to the Oregon coast aboard a sea-going buoy tender. After a successful tour of duty in Oregon, he was assigned to an isolated duty on the Italy island of Lampedusa. Thank you.
I don't know about that.
In the Mediterranean Sea. After this year, he was transferred to Mobile, Alabama, aboard his third ship, a coastal construction tender. Upon completion on that tour of duty, Mr. Hafliger began his career in aviation. After graduating from Aviation Electronics School, Mr. Hafliger was assigned to a base in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, where he worked on and flew on the HC-130 Hercules aircraft as a qualified drop master and load master. After spending 3 years in North Carolina, he was ordered to Kodiak, Alaska. A year after arriving in Alaska, Mr. Hafliger was sent to flight engineer school in Little Rock, Arkansas. Upon graduating from Little Rock, he returned to Alaska, where he remained for an additional 4 years. After Alaska, Mr. Hafliger was transferred one last time to Clearwater, Florida, where he completed his last 3 years of his career in the Coast Guard and retired. During his time in the service, Mr. Hafliger was constantly involved in training. In the beginning, he was the trainee, and then within a few years, he became the trainer. Both aboard ship and at various air stations at which he was attached, this aspect of his military career led him to pursue a career in teaching, specifically secondary mathematics education. After I read this, it all made sense to me, because it was always very difficult for me to understand, and we all know this, Mr. Hafliger's line at Springstead. He would have 6 classes, and they would all be different preps. And this thing, he had IB classes, but then the very next period, he had Algebra 1A, 1B classes. And then he'd have liberal arts classes. Then he'd have an Algebra 2 honors class. There is no zone or lane for him when it comes to kids. That's what he's about. He's impressive in the classroom. I walked in the other day, and he has one of our students, not overly motivated, and he said, look at me. Hey, you got this. And it's like, that's what he does. I'm going to step aside and let Ms. Pierce share anything in case she does, because she worked with him such a long time as well. Thank you.
And that part that was shared in the beginning about a laugh and always taking kind of the other side of the coin or the story, that was him. And in department head meetings, it was kind of refreshing to have that as sometimes it was our side, sometimes it was the other side, but it always made you think. And that was always great. But he's also the guy that's at every homecoming dance, every activity that's out there for whatever's happening. He drags his wife to prom every year. So he was invaluable. And I'm sure he will continue to be invaluable as a member of the staff. Teaching is just one part of what the magic that Mr. Hafliger brings to the classroom and the school.
And it's my pleasure to bring up Michael Hafliger. Come on up, sir.
I'm going to give you a standing.
Go to right group. Okay, you're going to go down first. And Michael, tip that last one just now. Perfect. Here we go. Here's one. Stay steady for me. Here's two. Here's three. And now you got.
And I just found out Michael had a third principal up here.
Well, we'd like to hear what she has to say. Want to say a few words?
I would like to say that it was an it was an honor to hire Mike. From day one, he has been just an incredible person and a teacher and a mentor. I appreciated him and still do appreciate him for all that he does for our students. He is amazing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.